Hello everyone, very good evening and welcome back to another session of Python interview preparation. So I warm welcome to all the people who are watching our recorded videos and who are live for us from 9:30 to 10. So we were discussing past 4 days, we were working with data types. So today we'll focus few other questions on variables and operators. So hi Bharat and Ashutosh.
Hey, hi Deepthi. Hi everyone. Good evening.
Hello Deepthi. Hello everyone.
Yeah. So we'll start with Ashutosh.
Yep.
Right. Ashutosh, actually, if at all I would like to randomize, okay, few items, right? In a list, if I have some items in the same place in Python, how do I do randomization?
Well, Deepthi, when you are talking about randomizing the items in a list, if you have some items in a place in the list, and if you want to just randomize it, we can use a shuffle function for that. And I would rather like to show that by sharing my screen, if it is okay.
Yeah, please.
So for a change today, I'm using my Spider IDE. So daily I've been using your Google Colab. So first what we need to do is we need to import shuffle from random.
Okay, shuffle being the function.
Yeah.
And random being the package. Okay.
And here say I'm defining a variable X and I'm giving some values in it. Say keep the blue, comma, say flag, line. Now this is something which is making sense. Keep the blue flag flying high. And now suppose I want to just randomize it. So I will simply say shuffle X. Shuffle off. And then I will say print X. Now if I just execute this, you would observe in the output the values have been randomized. The items in the list have been randomized. So that is how you randomize the things. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So if you again run shuffle of X, it is going to shuffle again. Can you do it?
Yep. If I just run this again and I run this, yep.
So it's randomly getting. We are getting.
Yeah. Randomly, it is changing the particular sequence of the list that we are having, the items that we are having in the list.
Okay, so certain things are there in Python which are inbuilt and we need not import anything. Right? We are not relying on packages, but there are certain things where we need to use packages. Unless and until we use certain packages, some kind of operations are not performed on the list.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. So Bharat.
Yes, Deepthi.
Yeah. Bharat, what are Python namespaces? How do you describe that? How do you refer, or what does it refer? Yeah.
You mean namespaces in Python, right?
Yes.
All right. So basically, when you say namespaces, okay, specifically to Python, they are referring to a name which is being assigned to each object. Okay. So, and these objects could be variables or functions. Okay. Whenever there is an object created, along with the name, there is also space created, right? And once these namespaces are created, they are referred to as what we have similar to is like dictionaries. In dictionaries, we have key value pairs, right? Similarly to that, in this case, the namespace will be referred to as value, right? And the location of the object as, or let me put it this way, okay? In dictionaries, similar to dictionaries, we have key value pairs, right? So what happens in namespaces is, in namespaces, the value is considered to be the location of the object. And to elaborate it further, okay, you have 4 types of namespaces. To begin with, you have enclosing namespaces. These are at a higher level, okay? These are outer functions, are also called as the outer function or a higher level namespaces. And then you also have built-in namespaces, I'm sorry, okay? These namespaces contain all the built-in objects in Python, okay? So where can you find this built-in namespaces is whenever you launch a Python program or whenever there is Python engine being running at the background, you find these namespaces, right? After that, you have local namespaces, okay? So these are in local namespaces, these are considered to be local to that of the function or inside the function. Similarly, if we look at global namespaces, these namespaces are for all the objects, okay? And they are being created for the actual code. So that is the difference between the local namespace as well as the global namespace. So like I said, there are 4 types of namespaces in specific to Python programming.
Okay, so if at all I can, put it in a different terms, can I say that, the main difference here is when you want to use a namespace, which is globally namespace, it occurs when you start the program.
Yes,
right?
you
Whenever
start
the
the program at
begins,
the beginning of the program,
you declare it,
is
like
what?
you started global
Correct.
namespace. But when you talk about the local namespaces, they are created once the function is declared, or you write
Yes.
your function,
When you
initiate a function.
function call, yes.
Yeah, whenever that function is called, whatever you write it, that is your local namespaces.
Correct, absolutely.
Okay, then is this, Ashutosh, are they same with where we call something like local variables and global variables in Python?
Well, I would like to answer that question by giving or by defining what is, local variable and global variables in Python.
Okay.
See, when we talk about local and global variables, these are variables that are declared outside a function or in a global space. Hence, they are called as your global variables. Now, these variables that are, declared outside a function, they can be accessed by any function in the program. So if you just make a user-defined function, you can easily access that. So that is your global variable. And when we talk about local variable, any variable that is declared inside a function, that is known as your local variable. Now, this variable is present in a local space, and this is not a global space. I would rather, like to show a small example, if you allow me to, by sharing my
Please.
screen.
Yeah, sure.
So let me just make a user-defined function. Before that, I'm just creating a variable, say A is equal to 2. And now I want to create a user-defined function. All right. say I'm saying B is equal to 3 and C is equal to A plus your B. Now, as I was saying that we can access that function, right? So here, the function that I'm defining is add. So if I just print C over here, and if I say add, now if you see, you're getting the output as 5 over here.
Okay.
So this is how you can just access that function.
Oh, okay. So any variable which is declared inside a function,
Mhm.
right? And that variable is present only in the local space, but not outside it. Like it's not in the global space.
Right.
So the point here is whenever you try to access the local variable outside that particular function, now you have the
Mhm.
add function here. Definitely it has to throw an error, right? So
Mhm.
that's restriction what we have here.
Exactly.
So Ashutosh, to continue with you, and then we are running with the spaces and we are running with the variables. Like what if, right? If I have to ask you attributes about the attributes.
See, the attributes of a class are also called as your variables. And these are, or you can say there are 3 access modifiers in Python for variables. And if I were to name them, the first one I could name is your public. So when we are talking about public, here the variables declared as public, and these are accessible everywhere, inside or outside the class. That is one thing. Another thing is your private. In private, what happens is the variables that are declared, now they are private and they are only accessible within the current class in your private. And then you have your protected as well. When we talk about protected, the variables declared as protected are accessible only within the current package. Now, attributes are also classified as we discussed, about local and global things. So when it comes to the attributes, your attributes are also classified as local attributes and global attributes. The local attributes are defined with a code, block or method, and can be accessed only within that code, block or method. Whereas when we are talking about global attributes, now these global attributes are defined outside the code, block or method, and can be accessible anywhere. So these are 2 of the attribute types I'm having, and if you just allow me, I would like to show the same by sharing my screen. Dipti, you are not audible.
Yeah, so we have to use a class. We have to define a class.
Yeah. So say I'm defining a class mobile and say M1 is equal to Samsung. Now I'm defining a function say and then I'm saying M2 is equal to say costly mobiles. And then I'm using my return function. Return M2. Once that is done, I'm saying say Sam underscore M is equal to mobile. And then I saying print underscore and dot. And so now if I run this is going to answer all your questions. And we have your Samsung over here. Samsung device, if you see, we have this. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So to continue, Bharat.
Yes, Deepti.
Yeah, Bharat, we have many processing modes, right? Supported by Python. So what are
Yes.
the different file processing modes, right? Where, which are supported by Python?
Okay.
File processing modes?
You're asking specific to, file processing in
Yeah.
Python, correct?
Yeah. Only file processing modes.
All right.
Just supported by our tool.
Yeah. So when you talk about, file supporting or, file processing in Python, you have four options or four methods to do that. That is possible in Python. One is the read only method, which is denoted as R right in the beginning. And then you also have write only. Okay, that is the second option. Second way of doing it. And then you also have the third option, which is read and write method. Okay. And the fourth method is the append method. Okay. When I say R, that is read only, be specific, it is used to open a read only file or a in read only method. Okay. And similar to write only, it will give me a write only mode. That is all predefined in Python. And interesting part here I would like to add is in append method, what happens is when you're trying to open or write a file, okay, all of this is happening at the end of the file. Okay, if the file is existing. All right. So, like I said, there are four methods and it is by default in append method. If the mode is not specified, by default, it will look at read only method. Okay. If all of these three methods that I've mentioned, if they're not specified, it will by default go to the read only mode, the first method basically.
Okay. So it's like, if nothing is given, it just goes to the default mode.
Correct.
Right. So to add to your answer, Bharat, if we are going with only read only mode, right, you specify small r.
Yes.
Right. Write,
Correct.
it's W.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Read
Right.
write mode, it is RW.
Correct. RW.
Right. Append would take A. Right. So the read only will open a file for the reading, and that is what you have specified. It's the default mode. Anything is not working, it is just going with the default. Read only mode is the default mode.
Correct.
Okay, so it means you're updating something is your read and write.
Yes.
And write only if the file contains data, whatever data is there, it will be lost totally, and you have a new file which is being created. That is write only mode.
Correct.
As
That
we
is
have
right.
seen a bunch of things with append function, right? List.
Yes.
Have appended. So whatever is there, let it be there like that only. We are appending the content at the end of the file.
End of the
file is
Correct.
already existing.
That is right.
Right. So yeah, these are the four actually. Four processing modes which Python supports. Right. So if at all you want to read, pull it and only read, or you want to write it from your system to your from your spider to your system.
Correct.
Both you want to do, it's read write. If you want to append something to already existing content, you go for append friends.
Yes.
Okay. So Bharat, to continue with you, I would like to know what is this operator in Python? Okay. Like we all know what is an operator,
Yes.
but
Operator.
as
Yes.
Python
See,
programmer.
operators in Python is considered very important, right? There are a bunch of operators that we deal with in our day-to-day life if we are dealing with Python programming. So we need to understand what is a operator, right? It is a special character. It is a symbol that is used for some value, right? And this value produces a output as a result. Okay. And if you talk about operators, there are operands and there are numerical or variables. Okay, these could be numerical laterals or variables, or both can be applied. Okay.
Okay.
And to add to this, you also have unary, binary, and trinary operators. Okay.
Okay.
When you say operator, it requires single operand. Okay, which in return called as unary operator. It means single. If you go by the name, it is a single unit or a single operator. Okay, and if you have two operands, then it is considered to be a binary operator. And looking at the third operator, which is a trinary operator. Okay, if there are three operands, right?
Okay. So when you're talking about unary operator, it is you do computations with
Correct.
operators. We can do bunch of
each
computations.
one of it is taking a computational operations that is happening of one operand.
Okay.
One operand will have the ability to produce a single output.
Okay.
When you consider binary operator, it will have two or more operands where you will have, for example, let me also quote the example, like you have addition, you have subtraction, multiplication, right? Exponential, right? And then you also have floor division.
Yeah, modulus.
Modulus.
All is a binary
And also
operator.
division.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when you have two operators, right?
Mhm.
A plus B, A minus B, A floor
Correct.
division, like /B, all is a
Mhm.
binary operators. You want two operands here.
Correct.
But when you talk about unary operators, to add to your answer, suppose
Yes.
I have something like 56.
Yes. Let me.
Right?
All right. So I'll do a quick operation here with the unary operator, and that will probably help the viewers understand what we are discussing here. What are we referring to? If you allow me, I will start sharing my screen and I will do some operation on this. Yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, Bharat.
Are you able to hear me, guys?
Yeah, Bharat.
Yes, I can hear you now. Please confirm if you are able to see my screen. Since
Yeah.
Ashutosh has selected the dark mode, I've gone for a light mode. A contrast look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Variation
This will
should
help
be
the
there, right?
viewers get a look and feel of the user interface that we are dealing with.
We
Okay.
can change from the preferences, spider
Yes.
black to spider.
See. So this is where you can go and change the look and feel of the user interface. See, I've gone for a default spider look. See, if I say dark, it is giving me a dark look. Okay. Okay. See, I have a pop-up which says I want to restart now, but I will select no and then probably do it. And for now, I will continue with the light mode. Okay. So we are talking about unary operator, right? Let me start. I will say define a variable x. I'll say x is equal to 56. Okay. And I execute this. F9 for spider. If you are working on spider, F9 is the key to execute. Okay. And then I will say y is equal to minus of x. Okay. Now I'll use a print statement. So here you'll be able to connect now what we've been discussing. So I'll execute this and see. Okay. What did we miss? So it is important that you execute each and every line of code. Okay. It is not auto executable. Okay. You have to do it manually. See, the result that you get is in the negative value. So this is what we were talking about, a unary operator or unary operator. Is it clear?
Yeah, exactly. So if at all you want to do A plus B, it becomes
Correct.
what? Addition of two operands.
That is it.
Right. And whatever row division, you want to get a reminder, or you are doing a modulus. And there are certain operators.
Yes, yes. We can all try
Yeah,
that. You know, you can experiment with those operators.
Exactly. So yes, okay. We can take more questions tomorrow. So we will stop here. So thank you all for joining in for today's session.
Thank you, everyone.
Right. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please follow our page, 360DigiTMG page on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. So thank you once again for joining in. Hope these sessions are bringing a value to you all, so that, you know, they'll just give you an idea that how a questionnaire will be there, how an interviewer is going to ask you the question, how you have to execute by writing the code. It's very, very important. So thank you once again.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Please click on the bell icon to get the notification on the future videos and more content to coming up. And also please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, and also add comments, put comments, your feedback, and also do share, like the videos.
Exactly. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Guys. Thank you.
Good night.